Hello, this is Daniel Raymond, the voice behind Ray's Guide. The most recent roadmap update has added the feature of the Siege of Orison to 3.17.2, and it is a completely safe prediction that 3.17.2 will be titled the Siege of Orison, or something else like that, as this event is way larger than Xenothreat and Return to Jumpdown combined, each of which were the named feature of a release. There has also been 2 public test sessions of this Orison Dynamic event, and so there's a unique opportunity to offer you a preview of the keystone feature of 3.17.2 in detail. Right up front, it's important to note that this event is still in testing, and which may, and in fact must, change before it is ready for 3.17.2. But given its current state, the event is amazing in its breadth and ambition, and there may well be more public test events, so this is a little bit of an attempt on my part to get you excited and informed about them and not give away the whole thing. I considered making a video with a complete walkthrough of the mission zone, but it's just too large. This is just a getting started video. If you want a full run-through of the mission with plenty of spoilers, I'd recommend Captain Burke's video. First, the scenario. Let me just let our friend Agent Dooley explain it to you.
Details, but our first objective will be to return control of the restricted airspace back to Crusader. Currently, the Ninetails are using an identity friend or foe inverter to make sure they can bring in reinforcements, while our ships are locked out. We know that device is being hidden in a locked storage container somewhere on the cargo barge docked at Central Platform. It seems, however, that the only person with the container's access code is Mendo Ren, a veteran Ninetails outlaw who's in charge of this attack. I want you to focus on finding him and getting those codes so we can shut down the inverter. The platform you're headed to now is Solanki Platform. Crusader uses it to house VIPs visiting Orison. There should be a few small ships here that we have permission to use. Commandeering vehicles will be vital to us reaching the Central Platform as it's disconnected from the shuttle system. I'll make sure to update you if anything changes. With your help, I have faith the CDF is going to come out on top today.
So in a nutshell, 3 platforms, Solanki, Brentwood, and Hartmoor, that are connected by shuttles. And each platform has a lieutenant boss who on them has a code on a tablet that will let them unlock the boxes on their platform. And then by commandeered ships to a 4th platform, called the Admin Center, after which we can enter a barge. Yes, we're talking about one of those huge, massive bricks that we have been seeing floating around like Vogon constructor ships all this time. Inside the barge is a maze of cargo containers and jump puzzles that holds the big boss. Searching him gives the tablet that will start the search for the container that can be opened with the code that contains the Identify Friend or Foe inverter that is preventing the UEE and our ships from entering the airspace. But any ship that is already inside the zone can be taken. But there are considerable defensive turrets in a Ninetails fleet that will need to be faced in order to get to the admin center, and considerable forces on the platform and barge. So you heard from Dooley, let's hear from the opposition.
The hell did the CDF have to come in and wreck some good old-fashioned chaos? I mean, we're not messing with you, so why the hell do you want to risk your life for those chicken shits at Crusader who don't even have the sack to defend their own territory? Take a second to think it over. We can blast any ship that comes near us out of the sky. I've got heavy hitters locking down each of the platforms. You don't stand a chance. So take my advice. Get back on the shuttle, go home, and pop a pips. You'll live longer.
Sorry, Mendo Ren? Really? There is no way I'm taking seriously a guy who names himself after a millennia-old pop science fiction movie villain, and not even a cool one. The lore team is really going to have a challenge to somehow explain why the 3rd trilogy is still a thing nearly 1,000 years later. One thing that you will find yourself referencing as you initially navigate the platforms are these display boards, which now have a 30th century innovation called the You Are Here dot. Each of these platforms is divided into outdoor plazas on different levels. As you advance down the first plaza, on the right-hand side, there is a shuttle station to Hartmoor that is at the start disabled and must be activated at the Hartmoor side. So the platform order is Solanki, Brentwood, Hartmoor. Open the shortcut from Solanki and then fly to the admin center. Now, an important thing to note that although the shuttle on the mission start to Solanki runs on a fixed schedule, the shuttles between the other platforms are on an on-call basis. So go to this terminal, call the shuttle, and then wait for what seems like forever. Now, if you are on one of the plaza levels and you're wondering, how do I get up or down to that other plaza level, the answer is almost certainly a building elevator. As players, we have access to public elevators that take us to 3 levels in most buildings: the level we are on, the roof, and the level of the other plaza that the building connects to. But be wary of the non-public elevators. Ninetails control these, and they are spawn closets. The other spawn closet place is that apparently Ninetails have a hankering for neo-imperial cuisine, or more likely anything better than the energy bars they get as sea rations. So you will also see them raiding the fridge at all the Oza locations. Now, a mention should be given to the roofs. These roofs all have substantial landing pads, which are valuable for doing your own shuttle work, but also at the start of the event is being populated with ships of various types. But don't be careless. If this scenario has a failure mode, it is losing so many of the ships available to you that you can't get to the admin platform. Now, on most of the buildings, the elevator to the roof takes you to an office type space, but on a few buildings, it takes you to a health club. These locations are significant because just to the side of the elevator is a med bed. Not one that you can set your regen point to, unfortunately, but one that can heal injuries and neutralize your blood drug level. So well worth noting. So next, let's talk about the folks you will see on the mission. The first are these guys, who are Crusader security forces in white. The second are Ninetails, who will be in their new gray and pink fashionable armor, types ranging from leather jackets all the way up to heavy armor. The third, of course, are CDF members like you who have accepted the mission. They will be in any sort of mishmash of armor, including looted Ninetails armor. The display on your helmet will put an AR triangle over their heads, so look for that triangle. But word to the wise, try not to look entirely like Ninetails in order to reduce friendly fire risk. But it is not a bad or even unusual strategy to come to the mission minimally equipped and then entirely equip yourself along the way with looted items. It puts less of your own capital at risk. The final group of people you will encounter are, for lack of a better term, troublemakers. They accept the mission in order to be cleared onto the shuttle to Solanke, but as soon as they are there, it is all mayhem for the lulls and the looting. Now, here's the thing. Until they get their first crime stat and lose their place in the mission, they will still have the triangle over their heads. And once they do lose the triangle, if they've entirely dressed themselves in looted Crusader security armor, it may be hard to tell them apart from the Crusader security dudes until it is too late. But once their crime stat does get high enough, there will be a bounty. And accepting the bounty will give you a bounty marker. So if you are approved for player bounty hunter, take the bounty and get the marker. So now you've got a marker on them and a defined area that they're in. Yippee-ki-yo-yay. Now, one of the other cards in 3.17.2 is criminal missions. So I'm holding out hope, rather than just being troublemakers, that people who have earned positive Ninetails reputations will instead be offered to officially fight for the Ninetails, for Ninetails reward and Ninetails rep. But that will also require several other modifications, including to the AR marker system. So let's talk about individual tactics. First, as I mentioned before, don't be afraid to start with limited gear and loot your way up. But in the process, don't make yourself look 100% Ninetails. Just like the other FPS missions, all the NPCs are carrying one of 4 weapons: the AR-4 rifle, the C-54 SMG, the Custodian SMG, and the BR-2 shotgun. Equip yourself with 2 of these 4, and you can have a steady supply of replacement ammunition and weapons by looting the corpses, not to mention the unlocked Ninetail supply crates. However, the versions that are found as loot will generally not have any scopes, laser pointers, silencers, etc. So if you really want to have those accessories, then bring them along to be added to your looted guns as you go. Now, to refresh on some of the basics, use crouch and cover to reduce your exposure, and don't forget your 6. On the other hand, in the right situation, don't be afraid to holster your weapon and run. A fast-moving target is hard to hit too. Don't hog the voice chat and keep your ears open. Often the first hint of Ninetails nearby will be their own chatter. Stay alert and able to hear that clue. And the final solo tactic is don't be solo. If at all possible, work with a team, even if it's just an informal team. The ability to heal each other alone is worth it, presuming you brought a med gun. You did bring a med gun, right? and also a tractor beam to pull down colleagues to a safe place to heal them. Now, as for the team tactic, even though Ninetails doesn't seem to use grenades, troublemakers might. So I recommend a loose formation so that you can't all be taken down with a single grenade or a single machine gun spray. You can't heal each other if you're both down, and healing each other is the main advantage of being in a group. And finally, also be a team that plans together when you're taking the ships. If you're going to have a multi-crew ship like the Mercury Star Runner, get people in the turrets first, and maybe have a companion craft or two. Taking out those defensive turrets is going to be a pain, and having more than one ship on attack or covering you will make it a lot easier. And this applies even more when it comes to the assault on the admin platform. Don't take a Hercules filled with vehicles, yes, there are tanks, if you don't have people on board to do something with those vehicles, not to mention someone to protect you. And have fun with it. This is shaping up to be a great future event. Now, for an update on the Grow the Channel ship giveaway. As of recording, we are approaching 74% of the subscriber goal and 67% of the membership goal to give away someone's choice of either the Anvil Liberator, the ship for shipping your ships, or the Misk Odyssey long duration exploration carrier. One entry per video. Members, you're entered automatically, and if the winner was a member as of the publication date of the winning video and at the drawing date, they will win both of the ships. For everybody else, just be a subscriber and comment with the secret word. And the secret word for this video is the name of the Ninetails leader. Fly safe, keep it real, and I'll see you in the verse. This is Daniel Raymond for Ray's Guide.